Hey guys, it's just me again. This is going to be my midday. It's only literally a few minutes after I just left that other video in which I got emotional at the end. And I wanted to, this is a really important video for me because this is more practical than emotional, or at least it was supposed to be what it was. And then I got to share these two things with you before I go. I don't know how this stuff happened. So um, last night into today has been a real battle with me. Um, got some things going on behind the scenes, and could definitely justify, you know, calling it a day and throwing in the towel and going back home and, seeing the kids and taking care of the family. But I talk about a book I hope you guys might have looked into. It's been one of the very few books I've read throughout my lifetime, my adult lifetime, and it's called The Right Words at the Right Time. I hate looking at my 17 chin, so let me try to put this up higher. You can see my bed behind me. So anyway, it's a book called The Right Words at the Right Time, and literally seconds after I left my first video where I was very emotional, I get a text from somebody that basically says, yeah man, just want to check in with you, tell you that thank you for letting me be I can't tell you because it's on the phone, I'm actually videoing on right now, but thank you for letting me be a sentence in your journey. So much pride and inspiration with you, follow you the whole way. And I'm not even doing it justice, but it just was the right words at the right time. And when you question and you're doubting and you get that positive affirmation, it makes me know what I'm doing is nice, right? Or meaning something. And then literally, as I start to record the second video after reading that first one, I get cut off by a phone call. And the phone call was from somebody who just wanted to check in on me, and hadn't heard from me, and somebody that was probably as much the reason for me taking this journey. I know I play shoot, darn, damn, whatever I'm trying to say. See, I shouldn't touch stuff. I apologize for cursing if any of the kids are watching. See, I'm not perfect by any means, as people will point out in this video. Anyway, the point is I got a phone call from somebody who probably is as much responsible for me going on this journey and having lost my way than anybody else out there. Luckily for me, I didn't want to walk across the country angry, so we were able to make peace. But I will say that when I told her about the journey and my plans, when this first came to fruition, her first initial reaction was, you're crazy, and somewhat negative, if not mostly negative. And then here we are 3 weeks into the journey when she calls me, and I tell her it's been an emotional couple of days, and she says to me, I guess I shared with her a couple of stories about how it's weird. I feel like I should be continuing to do this, and she said, you have to, you're making a difference in people's lives. I don't know if I am or if I'm not, but and just to see the change in her as she sees me from 7 weeks ago to now, 3 weeks into the journey. It wasn't false support, it was genuine. And if I can take somebody that was kind of a naysayer and turn them to the positive to see some of the benefits, then that's pretty special too. So, right after I got emotional with the first video and sharing how I've been battling some things, and then I shared two positive emails I got yesterday and this morning. Literally seconds after I do that, boom, those two things happen. So it's just more reason to believe in what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And if not everybody understands why I'm doing it or what my motives are, that's okay too. I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just a guy out here. But anyway, let's get past that. So let's talk about what I need your help with, the real reason for this call. I wanted to share my itinerary with you for the next 2 weeks. And these are just forecasts because honestly, guys, I'm just kind of winging it out there. But today I'm in Lima, Ohio. which is not all that far from the Indiana border. I've got a couple days left, and I just got a text from Gary, Max's dad, the other night. I asked him this morning how the Foo Fighters concert was. He just texted me. I'll have to read that. Said it was a good night, and that's all I saw. Anyway, tonight today I'm in Lima, Ohio, and I'm getting a late start on the day, and that's by choice because I'm going to enjoy a hot shower this morning and this hotel room as long as I can. And I'm going to target an area called Delphos. It's only about 15 miles from here, which is why I can take a little bit later start. But going the 7 days a week, I'm not really worried about it if I don't get to 20. But the challenge is this. The next couple of weeks, I'm going to be, the next pocket city I'm going to hit is Fort Wayne, Indiana. But after that, I'm going to be heading across the end of next week into the beginning of the following week across northern Indiana. And I've been in northern Indiana for some work, and there's a lot of really small towns out there. So I'm a little bit scared about that. I'm not scared about small towns. It's just, if you got a town of 20,000 people, I got a little bit better chance of meeting someone willing to let me sleep on their floor than a town of 2,000 people, right? So that's some of my challenge. But anyway, it's I'm going to target Delphos, Ohio today, heading up to Van Wert, Ohio on Sunday, tomorrow. And then from there, it's Bido, Ohio. I Monday hope to be in a town, if I could even read my own scribble, looks like Townley, Indiana, between here and Fort Wayne on Monday. And on Tuesday, it looks like I'll be hitting Fort Wayne, Indiana. And that will be, that'll be my last pocket city for about a week or so. And then from there, I'm going to be hitting a lot of small towns along Route 30, Lincoln Highway. So Thursday will be Fort Wayne. I'm sorry, I can't read my own writing. Tuesday will be Fort Wayne. Wednesday will be a town called Columbia City, Indiana. Thursday will be a little town called Winona Lake, Indiana, outside of Warsaw. I'd like to do Warsaw. It's a little bit bigger, not much, but it's just I don't know about the mileage and getting there. Friday, I'm going to be looking towards a town called Bourbon, Indiana, just like the drink. Saturday, Donaldson, Indiana. And Sunday, I can't even read my own writing for crying out loud. Hannah, Indiana, Sunday. With Monday, hitting another pocket city called Valparaiso, which has got a university there. Bryce Drew had an amazing shot many years ago in the NCAA tournament to give that school some presence on the map. But so by next Monday, I'll be into Valparaiso. So a week from this Monday. So that's my schedule next week. So I will ask you all to, if you can reach out to anybody in that area, have them look out for me from a safety standpoint. If you know anybody, let them know what I'm doing on the journey. And if it's something that they might want to be part of, share it with me. But the real reason I want to talk to you guys is for the end of that second week. And the reason I do that, it's imperative that we reach out to these people now to try to get what I'm hoping to do. So Tuesday, August 7th, it looks like I'll be trying to get towards a town called Merrillville, Indiana. On Wednesday, Hammond, Indiana, which is right along the Illinois border. And then the back end of the next week is Chicago. Now, I've never been in Chicago, but I know it's a big, big city. And I think for the purpose of my journal, I'd like to try to stay there at least 2 days, if not 3, maybe Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Chicago. Now, I know there's plenty of people that know folks in Chicago, and there's plenty of news media that way. Frankly, again, I'm trying to tell a story as I go, so I'm not afraid of any kind of meeting or neighborhood. In fact, I would welcome diversity, and I tend to try to just seek out as many people as possible to ask the questions I ask. I don't get a lot of that in some of the small towns, but Chicago is Chicago. I've never been out that way. I don't know if there'll be any pleasure involved with the journey or not. I guess that kind of comes down to the family. But guys, I need you all, please, to reach out next week to the northern Indiana towns, find out who the small papers are. Really it's between Fort Wayne, Warsaw, and then to Valparaiso. There's a lot of towns in between, but I'm sure those will be the three biggies. Um, and then I'm heading, between Valparaiso and Chicago. There's not much going on in terms of just a few small towns, and I'm hitting Chicago. So if anybody can get me any links to any Chicago newspapers, any Chicago news stations, any Chicago television, I'm challenging them a little bit to help me find out some of the stories or the people, or just put me out there to them. Because again, I don't really care what part, where I go, who I see. I know some people have been concerned about me going to Chicago, thinking that there's some violence in the city. There's violence in any city. So that's part of it, But that's part of humanity is talking to areas where violence exists, not being too afraid of it, and just trying to deal with it, factually. So that's the game plan. So I'm asking you all out there that you've got a kind of my 2-week itinerary. I'm trying to go 7 days a week now. I don't have like the first 2 weeks where I have family that I can spend a day with. So there's no point in me just sitting around under a tree somewhere. I want to get back to my kids. I want to get this book out there. I want to complete this journey. So those are the next 2 weeks. But while I still have a little bit of time on here, let me one more challenge out there to you guys. So after Chicago, also something else I need your help with. I'm looking to catch a ride down towards St. Louis and start taking out Missouri. So I don't have any contacts yet, but again, hopefully you guys can reach out to the media or yourselves or your friends and say, anybody willing to give this guy a ride on the weekend of about the 11th or 12th to get down to Missouri, maybe to St. Louis. I'm excited about that because I'm excited about crossing the Mississippi and seeing the arch there, and maybe videoing that. More importantly, once that journey starts, I'm going to be taking a different route. I'll call Route 66, and this is where I need your help. I need your thinking caps on right now to help me. The last thing I want to do on this journey is be any kind of hypocrite, although some already think I am. But here's the challenge. As I said, this journey is about humanity. It's about people. For me, the story is about the people I meet. Well, there are folks telling me, and I've already experienced it here in Ohio, where I'm going to go stretches of miles and miles and miles with no anything. No mini mart, no McDonald's, no gas station, no anything. When I start to hit the deserts of parts of Oklahoma, parts of the panhandle of, I don't know if it's the panhandle, but the part of Texas, as I get into New Mexico and parts of Arizona, that they're telling me that there's areas where I'll be 50 miles between locations. Now, 50 miles for me to meet nobody doesn't make any kind of sense at all. All it's doing is making me take 3 days to get across an area. Like I said, I'm not doing this to say I walked every step of the way, look at me, yay. I'm doing it to meet people and engage with people. So it seems like any route that I've mapped out is going to have those big gaps across the Midwest, whether it's through Kansas and Route 30 in Iowa, whether it's through parts of Missouri through National Route 40, whether it's on Route 66. I just don't know how to get around it. So I don't know. I don't want to sleep outside in the desert for 3 days and deal with snakes and iguanas. I want to be safe for my family. Again, to waste 3 days of my life away from them to talk to nobody is not what my intent is with this journey. So I don't have an answer. I don't know if I see if somebody will give me a ride across these big, vast gaps of territory and they become part of the story because they'll be in a car with me for an hour. I don't know if I reach out to people to say, hey, do you know somebody in these stretches along Route 66 that have big gaps, to say, hey, can he crash on your property at least and get to know you or something like that. I don't have an answer, so I'm putting it out there to you, my family, to help me decide the best way to get across these long stretches of area with no people. I mean, sure, I might get 1 or 2 cars or 3 cars come by in the course of 15 hours, but if those 3 cars blow by me, what good has it done me? If someone gave me a ride or picked me up or at least engaged me, I would do it in a heartbeat. But based upon my experience so far on the trip, not a lot of people are engaging me. So until I get into the towns. So I'm running out of time again. If you guys can think about that, shoot me an email, share your thoughts, discuss amongst yourselves. I don't have all the answers. I'm looking to you guys to help me get some. And thank you guys much. I love yous. And thanks for listening as usual. Bye-bye.